Howdy, all you delicious people. Yeah. So 7 Days to Die. I don't know. I'm just kind of doing this series seemingly every day now. I don't know why. I just want to try to be better at the game. Reasonably, the only issue is eventually you guys are gonna start to see like a compilation starting to pile up. I am going to probably showcase on coming episodes of me dying and dying frequently. To the point where I'm kind of contemplating adjusting the settings to just kind of lower some things down. Because, good God, per one person trying to play this game honestly makes certain things honestly kind of impossible to make progress at certain points. It feels like a lot of the times I don't have a lot of breathing room as far as for me to uh, make progress, accomplish anything. I had spent hours upon hours of footage that you didn't get to see, just kind of recapturing certain things that I had lost. Um, but I do get to make a good amount of progress. Lately, I've made a lot of much more progress lately with footage you have not seen yet. And ultimately, I'm kind of very much happy about that. But man, do I feel like I'm very overwhelmed. Here's some things that have happened. Some of it being um, stuff that I haven't showcased yet, or stuff that I didn't film because I just didn't have I just didn't think about it at the time because I thought that it wasn't exciting enough, and then there was an exciting thing going on that I didn't capture on film. Anyway, so I started recording, or I started playing this game one day, and it was at a night thing, and I had like four zombies all like break all the way through into the auto parts place that I had, and I had to kill every single one of them because you kind of have to do that. And then there are portions of time where I kind of go into a new environment, like a new housing or something like that, and about 4 to 10 zombies all are around that environment or are all attacking me. A lot of the times I end up kind of recording after the fact, kind of doing the scavenging part, because ultimately a lot of times it's just kind of like me killing a number of zombies before I can even start scavenging, which I don't usually showcase on here. I usually get to the scavenging part right away because those are much more long-winded videos. But there's gonna be a place you're gonna eventually see where I'm going to die and die frequently, just because it gets to a point where there seems to be unstoppable forces being presented. There's a number of different zombies all in this one area where I need to get things, and it gets to the point where I'm just like, I don't think that I can kind of really justifiably want to play this anymore, just because I feel like I'm not making like legitimate progress. It feels like a lot of things are just getting so slowed down now, and I've only been within days of playing the game. I can't wait till day 7 to where ultimately everything really breaks loose, and I'm just like, God, I am going to die. So let's get into the recording of this let's get into this recording day. I apologize for my long rant there, but yeah, I think I'm ultimately going to adjust settings on this so that way I can have a little bit fewer zombies that appear. Because man, I'm still going to have the settings be set at a very hard, difficult level. But man, am I just going to adjust how frequently the zombies show up? Because good God, it seems like at certain portions there are unstoppable objects that continuously kind of spawn in non-stop, and man, it just gets to the point where I'm just like, God, this really effing sucks. Like, I just can't. Like, man, if you die, man, does that suck. And there's so many ways for you to be killed off. But if anything, I'm not quite 100% sure if that exactly happens here. But yeah, man, does it start to happen quite frequently. And you're gonna see some of those compilations of me just dying. Sometimes from stupid things because I'm ultimately just kind of running in desperation to get to the next thing that I need to get to, which is probably usually a backpack, or usually just me trying to get to a place that I want to go to and or have found. Yeah, so you guys are going to see some future videos of that. Oh shit. No! But yeah, definitely you're going to see a lot more times where I am going to make much more progress. You're going to see some cool and interesting things being placed into this game, and some stuff that I'm going to have to explain why it's important. Because for people that are not aware or don't know, I'm going to tell you why certain things are important. One thing that I made a big, huge addition onto my now kind of pointless auto parts thing. I say pointless just because I'm going to be trying as much as possible to be probably shifting gears to move somewhere else where I can kind of much more fortify, justifiably so. Because ultimately, if I think what I might do is, because I want to increase my health, because I think health is kind of like at like a pretty like just I'm gonna die and die consistently. So I kind of want to get to a point where I'm getting my health up. Eventually in future episodes, I do get into much more, let's just say, greener pastures, and you're gonna see some of the stuff that I'm finally gonna be able to talk about on here. But yeah, the future of these episodes are very exciting. But then again, there is a lot of stalling of things. There's a lot of like, God, this game is going so slow now, because ultimately, like, I'm off shooting hours of footage, and realistically, like, because there's a lot of stuff that I have to go back into, because death, or there's portions of time where I'm just kind of like, yeah, I really have to really like run a long ways. But definitely in the future, I'm going to be making a big strive, because ultimately I do have a forge, which isn't shown on camera that I actually created it. I just kind of did it off camera, and then I'm just like, oh, now I have all the parts for this forge. So maybe in a future episode I will probably showcase it, but ultimately I'm going to also be in a transitional state of moving all of my stuff to a different place that I know that I can fortify better, and I know I can kind of but I'm kind of really up in the air of where I want to make my permanent home. If you've seen the episode of My 7 Days to Die, where I talk about, I slap on the video where I said my favorite place to fortify or to have a home in 7 Days to Die. I think I'm pretty close to that area now, but ultimately, because I'm kind of like there adjacent, because I know, because I in the future episodes you'll see why. I'll explain that. But yeah, it's like the future is looking pretty bright, but ultimately it's just like, God, I just like, I really want to actually make some progress, and it's so slow going right now just because of just the hours upon hours. It's just like, okay, now I really have to like go all the way through the map and really discover a lot of stuff. And find out legitimately, like, okay, I want to get this now. So, but there's a lot of stuff that I realize, because I've kind of been kind of researching and just trying to figure out like what like God, why haven't I figured out what this thing is? And then I eventually like start to figure it out and make adjustments because I'm like, God, people talk about this or I've heard about it, but like I do not, like, I don't know why, but I just don't know how to make this, or I don't know how to create it, or I don't know how to put this together. Yes, phone, thanks for letting me know that. Yes, I get it. Thanks. My phone is charging, yeah, just because it's like my phone's kind of very low in battery, so it's got to let me know that I'm charging consistently. Um, but yeah, I guess it's to the point of just showing a map, so it's not like action-packed placement or whatever. But anyways, yeah, so ultimately, I'm in the future going to hope to make a lot of faster progress just because adjusting of settings. Um, I'm not going to put it on like the easiest modes possible. No, I'm not going to do that because this mode that is currently on right now is, I think the settings is the advanced settings, and I think the spawn rate for the zombies is on like low. So I think I'm gonna adjust the zombie spawning settings just very low and then just keep the advanced settings. So that way it ultimately doesn't feel like I'm like I'll make progress, but it won't be like it'll be like not like the easiest possible um thing for me, because then ultimately I'll just be like, yeah, I'm just kind of blowing through this game now, and like a lot of people might just like see that as just like, yeah, the episodes aren't that exciting anymore. It's like because you're just kind of blowing through a lot of stuff. Well, yeah, it's just there's only so much you can do. Once you really start to make progress, you can just kind of really like really rock through the game and just kind of really um but yeah, eventually, like I have and the reason why you have that first aid with the kind of the blue there are blueprints in this game to start being able to make stuff. I think that's why stuff takes so effing long to be able to make progress in this game, is because a lot of times the more substantial things you eventually have to find books to make. Eventually, while getting a lot of airdrops, tend to have a lot of different kind of things to for you to read, so you can finally be able to just like, oh, say, okay, thank God I finally have the ability to do this now, or I can make this now, or oh no, I just need to get parts for this now to be able to put this together. Um, there is one book that I have definitely wanted, and I will get in future episodes, which is great. And I'll showcase that when it comes to it. But there's 2 episodes that I have that are on my PS4 and not uploaded yet. So we're gonna, I guess we're just gonna make a series out of this, just kind of because you gotta make like 3 videos, like, or I'm trying to make 3 videos every single day. So but I know there's a lot of hardcore people that have probably like know that it's like, well, no, you should be saving this, and no, you should be making this and whatever. I get it. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna tell me like how to play the game, but ultimately, like, a lot of the times there's a lot of resources that me personally I do not feel I need. I just don't. Because ultimately, like, if I were with a group of people, I would probably save every little thing. But when you're solo, you're just like, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. Like, it gets to the point when you have so much crap on you that you Would love to save every little thing, but ultimately it's just like, well, I'm just going to get the bare essentials. Yeah, the bare essentials. Yeah, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bare essentials. Um, but yeah, reasonably within the future. Definitely, I can confirm that eventually. To you guys now that having a lidded torch through most of the episodes so people can see things better will not always be a permanent thing. So have relief that if and the thing is that kind of the torch here tends to light up areas fairly well, but at the end of the day, it just kind of becomes an annoyance because I have to like transition from weapon to torch consistently, especially if I'm in a non well lit area. It's just an annoyance to just like, okay, now I gotta break it in this door, switch to torch from like now I can just have a whatever thing I'm going to have in the future, and then ultimately just be having my weapon in hand, which is a great adjustment because it seems like even throughout this entire game, a lot of stuff just isn't well lit a lot. But yeah, looking at this yucca fruit, evidently there was a thing that I figured out because I'm like, I keep hearing about this. There evidently is this thing called yucca juice, and I'm like, how do you make this thing? How do you make it? I'm like, I'm so angry because I can't figure out how to make this. I ended up in one episode finally being able to effing figure that out because I'm like, because I looked at the yucca the banana, the green banana there. Like, how do you make the yucca juice? And ultimately, I just saw simply that it said recipe on the banana. I'm like, why? Why does it say recipe? Like, I've had it so many other times where it's just showcased. Like, you can easily be able to make this thing, and this is the one drink where you actually have to physically go onto the item and make get the recipe from off the item. All the other drinks you can just easily make, but this one is so much more complicated. So I'm like, oh mother, like dude, I could have had this going on for I don't know how long, because I was in an environment where you can have yucca fruit for days, and I could have easily been making drinks instead of having to almost die because I had a severe lack of water consistently. Um, because I was like, God, I'm running out of water like so quickly. I gotta find a thing of water somewhere. And now I don't have that issue anymore, and it takes forever to make uh, jars of water. But now I don't have that issue, which is like figuring out this stupid yucca fruit thing um, is a much beneficial thing. But yeah, I found a car battery. I'm pretty close to getting most of the parts together for a mini bike. I think in one episode I probably found wheels, kind of car wheels. Um, the only thing that I think I'm missing is probably springs and a car engine, which all I need to do. I do have wrenches, so I'm gonna take some wrenches, and I of course in this auto parts thing, I have like cars right in front of this area, so I might start taking cars apart in front of this auto parts area and kind of get some pieces from that, but because I still need springs, I think, or I still need like springs for something, and I need to get an engine, and then I need to get some other car part stuff, but um, some painkillers in there, which is great. The funny thing is, like, I wish that you could do something with the rotting flesh or the rotting meat or whatever. Like, what is the? There's so much stuff that it's just like, what is the point of having this? It doesn't. Like if you have raw meat from an animal, you can like all of a sudden the zombies are intrigued and want to like come at you because they smell you. But otherwise, it's just kind of like, what does some of this stuff do? It's just like you have it to just throw it away. It's kind of a stupid resource. Yeah, some ashland there. In future episodes, I'm going to be going through this ashland, and eventually I'm going to, well, you can kind of see here I'm going through the ashland, but I'm definitely going to go through it more and definitely get a lot of more good stuff here. Yeah, folks. What I just picked up, as you quickly saw, was a pistol with bullets. Finally, I actually have a legitimate gun on me, that I can actually use. Yeah, it turns out that, like, really, bows and arrows are really difficult for me to use. It turns out that, crossbows have like the most difficult way of putting like crossbows together. Um, it turns out like the weapons that you can use to make crossbow arrows so difficult, to the point of just like, well, like I made a crossbow, but what would be the point of that? Or if I were to make a crossbow, what would be the point of it? Because like, what can you use it for? Um, but yeah, anyways, I am eventually going to, in other episodes, I'm going to start going and eventually getting animals via just animals just showing up frequently here. Got a potato, a potato. Hey, some glue. Yeah, this episode is gonna be kind of like the best of me, like finding kind of stuff, and it's gonna start to be end up being like that, or it's just kind of like, okay, like I found some things here. This is where I've talked about like these tree trunks have some pretty good stuff, but there's a lot of effing zombies around this location as per usual. Whenever going into an actual substantial place where I can start to, um, like, hey guys, I can actually get some things. Yeah, there's like 6 effing zombies or 3 effing zombies in a very small location, and it's just like, God, this is gonna be so effing slow to make any kind of progress. Because ultimately, if I want to, if I want to get stuff, like it's just like, well, like I gotta either kill every single one of these zombies, or like I just gotta I just gotta freaking get all this stuff quickly. And yeah, um, oh man, yeah, it's just these episodes coming up are just gonna be so frustrating, just because it's like, man, it is just like if you want to get one whole thing, um, good luck with that. Good luck with getting one whole thing. And then also good luck trying to get your health up as well, because ultimately you're just going to go into one section, like um, where there's a city, or where there's a this, or where there's a that, and then ultimately you're just going to be like, God, I just want to make some substantial loot. I just want to be able to make some substantial gains, but then um, ultimately it just kind of feels pointless, because it's just like, well, you gotta go and you want to make some substantial gains, but ultimately it's just like, Yeah, but am I gonna lose my product in the process? Am I gonna lose the stuff that I've kind of really like use daily because I probably will die because I can't see a zombie that's crawling on the ground, or I can't see um this and that. Yeah. Yeah. You see that? You see that? You see that, folks? That is called a mining helmet, and oh my god, that is the greatest thing in life. That is the greatest thing in the world to obtain. Said mining helmet. Because, oh my god, finally we have one of these. It's only at 41, but man, oh, you have no idea how a mining helmet is just a lifesaver. Uh, the only thing is you kind of, like, I consistently forget what button it is to, turn said, mining helmet on. So it's just kind of me adjusting to be able to figure it out. Like, God, what is the button again to turn this effing on? What is the button again? There we go. Now we rolling down the streets. As you can tell, it is nighttime now, or is going to be close to be getting to nighttime. So you guys are gonna start seeing some funny stuff. You guys are gonna start to see some funny things go on, cause yeah, and this will really, in all honesty, explain where I kind of mentioned that, like, yeah, and here's kind of me just almost on my way to making my way home, making my way back home. You guys are gonna start seeing some interesting things come up while I'm just trying to get my way effing home. I don't have much stamina, and I'm just kind of like picking on things before I get home because I'm like, okay, well, I'm almost there. I'm almost there, and it's close to getting about that time to where ultimately should bunker down for the night. And yeah, I consistently always forget what portion of land it is to be able to like get certain kind of materials like lumps of clay and stuff like that. So ultimately, you can get clay from the ground and stuff like that. You just got to go into certain kinds of portions of land. But I have kind of lucked out in some kind of scenarios where, like, ultimately, if I have to bunker down, because I'm definitely not going to try to do much of anything at nighttime because it's impossible. Because the way I have it in the settings to where it's just like I could ultimately have the settings to where the zombies never run. I just have the settings to where they're at default right now, to where it's like they can run at night, and during the day they have to walk slowly. That's default settings. Because ultimately I want to make it fair and I want to make it fun. But the only thing is, like, definitely at night, like I'm just like, man, this really sucks to try to make progress. I don't know why I had this footage here, but I think it's kind of leading to where I'm getting some more interesting stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of random like garbage to get. A lot of good stuff every once in a while. Oh yeah, this is where I run into. Yeah, this kind young gentleman. Steve, is that you? Steve! Oh, come on, you hit me, Steve, you douche. This spike club here is honestly probably the best weapon to have. The only problem is, this spike club does not last forever. But I think it's probably the best club out of all the clubs that I've used. This is probably the best one. Yeah, so now I have a crossbow schematic, which now I can make a crossbow, which ultimately I figure out to make crossbow arrows. Yeah, no. But I do have some military fiber, which I have no clue what use that has for. Like, I don't know how to beneficially use that. And another car battery. Woohoo! I think I'm going to get rid of these seeds there. Yeah. It's just stupid seeds that I don't really need. So I think I'm going to get rid of those. I love getting candles just because ultimately it's a easy thing to light up a house. I think eventually you see here I have some like iron axes and iron shovels and stuff like that, but ultimately I think I lose some of this stuff via there's several times where I've just had to die or whatever, and I've just kind of had some kind of stupid weapon to just kind of get me by, to hope that I can just like, well, if I just take this with me, maybe I'll be fine. Yeah, a lot of bullatos there, a lot of bullets. Luckily enough for me. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna have a lot of pistol ammo, but you know what? It's I hope to eventually get more because I didn't really realize how effective bullets are until like I'm just using guns consistently a lot of the times. Like I can't, I'm just not really that effective with bows and arrows. I'm just, cause like it seems like these zombies take several shots. I don't know how many times I've hit a zombie straight narrow in the head and it just keeps on coming. So yeah. I think I have to switch out and put on some clothes so I can get that item. Yeah, that is the sound of nighttime. That is the sound of nighttime. That sound there, nighttime. And I'm like, oh crap, I need to go the F home. Because you're going to start to see why nighttime is not a good thing to be a part of. And as I said, like I am almost on my way home. This is the little junkyard coming up here that has a ton of zombies in it and dogs. And I do not want to go in there because it seems like a death trap to me. It looks like a very nice place to be able to get a lot of stuff going, as far as you know, getting some things going. But now the zombies are not just going to be walking anymore; they're going to be running. So time to run along home. But you guys are going to see that eventually things are going to go horribly awry because there's only so much stamina I have. Plus, as if you can see the sun symbol there, I am overheated. As of course, per usual, I'm always overheated. But I'm trying to make my way home. So, and stamina ran out. Let's turn around. Two zombies. Death number 1. And I'm almost home. So this is me going back for my bag at night. Stupid me, because eventually the bags do not spawn eventually. And yeah, here's 2 more zombies. Because death counter number dos. I've died twice in 7 days to die now. But still, I'm very much stubborn, and now I have 2 backpacks that eventually will despawn if you take way too much time to get them. And here I am again at night trying to find my backpacks. Again with a axe this time, which is not that beneficial. And death count number 3. 3 times death. So yeah, you guys are definitely gonna see in the future that I'm just gonna consistently. But the one issue is you're definitely gonna see me. Definitely going to. Because there's portions of time where I actually got my bags and all of my bags, all the ones that I missed, and you guys are gonna see that. You guys are gonna see me get my bags, and you're just gonna see me at home. There was a clip that was missed because I hit some button and I lost a little bit of footage, but. Yeah, so eventually you guys are going to see like the aftermath of me just like hoping that I can get all of my bags and everything like that. I did eventually get them, it just took some real getting to because ultimately all the zombies are just kind of eventually crawling all around now. Because a lot of them were hit so much that they only could crawl, they couldn't run. So, luckily for me, it was much easier to get my bags, but... you're not going to see that footage, but ultimately that's what happened. The footage that you guys ended up missing, because I died so effing frequently, just trying to find my effing bags. Where is she? Where is she? Just the round sound cowboy. Yeah. So every one of these zombies that you're seeing here in the screen. Every single one of them all ended up just crawling, and so every single one of them, that's death 4 now. Keep the death counter coming, because in the continuous episodes, we're gonna be dying more. Because yeah, so. Here's where I eventually get to the point of taking upon hours after getting all of my stuff back to unlock the safe to basically just get gun parts, which is BS. But yeah, eventually I guess because I have so much downtime at night, if I'm not gonna have to defend wherever I'm at, then I'm ultimately just gonna have to break open safes because I have nothing better to do within this area. But ultimately, like I said, I'm hoping that eventually I'm going to move to greener pastures, and eventually I'm going to have to heavily defend certain locations and stuff like that. But man, a lot of this is just like it just sucks whenever you need to like move somewhere, because if you want to move to a better location or a different location, man, once you really have hunkered down somewhere and you stayed somewhere for so long, it really takes forever to move. But luckily for me, I haven't had much of putting defenses down. I've just kind of had a very small amount of portion of time where I've just kind of like been like, okay, I'll just be here and then I'll make some kind of things here. think this is where the video ends. Yeah. Yeah, this is basically where the video ends. Just kind of me, just kind of wandering off into the wilderness. But I hope to do more of this. But at the end of the day, I hope that I come on here with some legitimate progress and come on here like I really want to go all over the map, and that's really super hard to be able to do. Because ultimately, especially with like things that spawn in a lot, and eventually with having this game being much harder, it's very slow being able to make progress. As you can kind of see there, my health and stamina is at 70, so we started out the game with 100 health and 100 stamina. Um, I ultimately could restart the game at 100, but with kind of the settings that I have, like I'll just consistently die regardless. But I hope in the future I'll be able to hunt for animals, or I'll be able to get something together to where ultimately I'll be able to increase my health, so I won't die as frequently. I'll be able to up my stuff within this game, so that way I won't need to die from starvation and or thirst or anything else. Hopefully I can eventually get schematics for iron armor and stuff like that, so eventually I won't need have the issues with uh, like I can have an entire outfit that keeps me cool, or I'll ultimately just be able to nut up and eventually go into the winter environments where it consistently snows. To ultimately, all I need to do is throw clothes on instead of having to overheat. Because I would rather be cold in this game than be overheated. Because um, cold is much easier to get around than being overheated. Overheated, it's just like no matter what you do, your temperature continues to go up no matter what. So it's just kind of like run around naked, you go on your shelter, you jump in a thing of water, you're still overheated, and it takes forever to break down. So I hope eventually in the future I can go into winter areas and not have to deal with this kind of crap. I hope to dare in fact find some much more exciting environments to showcase on here. Definitely, I would love to be able to find some much more interesting places to make bases out of than I have in previous videos. Because there's only so much that I can do. There's only so much that I can like find interesting because I've kind of played this game so often that eventually like I might get bored with it just because like okay, here's the place that I've been able to get to again. Like there's only like this is the place where I've been able to find this stuff again. Like it's kind of getting to that point now where like ultimately like I am having so much issues making progress that ultimately kind of breaks into the game where it's kind of like, yeah, I really want to come in here and actually make and be in here now, but I can't because I can't really. It takes too long to make progress in this game, so I hope I can make a lot more progress in the future. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.